Good evening. Today is the 15th of February. We have three saints in the book and bonus saints in the other sources. Our first entry for today is Saint Berach, also known as Barachius or Barachius. And he is from the 6th century. A disciple of Saint Kevin, who we commemorated on the 3rd of June, Saint Berach founded a monastery at Clusin Copte, now Termonbarry from the Irish, Termonbarry, meaning Saint Barry's Sanctuary, in Connaught. He is venerated in County Roscommon and is the patron saint of Kilbarry near Dublin. The book entry, the group chat entry says Saint Berach, also known as Barachius and Barachius in brackets, disciple of Saint Kevin and founder of a monastery at Clusin Copte in Connaught, and then in brackets it says 6th century. The Celtic Saints website provides us with a Troparion in Tone 1, disciple of our Father Kevin, teacher of true piety and radiance of all Connaught, O Father Berach. By thy life and example thou didst bring many souls to Christ. Wherefore we pray thee to intercede for us, that our souls may be saved. And then we also have a Kontakion, which is sung in Tone 4. Brighter jewel in the crown of Erin in Saints, great Father Berach, we hymn thee and pray for the fortitude to follow thy steep path to salvation, ever praising thy most glorious memory. Our next entry for today is Saint Dochau, also known as Dochau or Dogwin, and date is uncertain. There is a fair degree of uncertainty surrounding this saint. He is the English monology as a Welsh saint, though he may be the same as Saint Connaught, who we commemorated back on the 24th of January, sometimes called Saint Doco or Saint Dogmel. Saint Docmel. There is a church in North East Wales dedicated to a Saint Docwy or Dogway. It is probable that he was the founder of a monastery in Cornwall, and the Annals of Ulster describe him as a bishop. The group chat entry just simply says Saint Dochau, bracket Dochau or Dogwin, founder of a monastery in Cornwall, bracket c.473 AD. And we've got this here. Yes, that's accurate. Our next saint of the day is Saint Farinan, and he is from the 6th century. A native of Ireland, Saint Farinan went to Iona to become a disciple of Saint Columba, who we commemorate on the 9th of June. He later settled in the west of Ireland, where he lived as an anchorite in a cave, in the strictest asceticism. Reposed in circa AD 590, he is the patron saint of Ulterna, bracket Ulfarana, in Sligo, the probable place of his death. The group chat entry says Saint Farinan, confessor, disciple of Saint Columba at Iona in Scotland, c.590. Eventually he returned to Ireland to lead the life of a hermit at Ulfaranan, now Allanan in Sligo. The next entry for the day will be, Saint Sigfrid. The previous three saints were in the book. Now, the following readings will be taken from the group chat. Saint Sigfrid of Sweden, a priest and monk, probably from Glastonbury in England. He went to enlighten Sweden, based in Varjo. I don't know how to pronounce Swedish letters. So there's a double V A, but with like 2 dots above it. What it looks like. Then there's a J, and then there's a O with the same double like dot thing above it. I don't know what you would call it. Accent. And converted and baptized King Olaf of Sweden in 1045 AD. After Saint Ansgar is epiphysized apostle of the North, Sigfrid is revered as second apostle of the North. Let's bring this down, and there is... I swear he has a Troparion. There we go. Podium. He has a Troparion in tone 4. For thy patience and zeal, O holy bishops, Sigfrid. Thou hast earned a great reward from Christ our God, for having laboured continually in the vineyard of his church. Thou hast been granted to dwell in the garden paradise of all eternity. Wherefore, beseech him without ceasing, that the land of the north behold his salvation, and that our souls be saved. And if he has one of these, he also has a Kontakion. Wait, what's this? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what we're looking for. This is sung in tone 3. Full of divine radiance, thou couldst not bear that others walked in pagan darkness. Wherefore, O Sigfrid, thou didst leave thy homeland and didst journey to the distant lands of the north, to bring thither the light of salvation, that their people may render glory, praise, and worship to God forever. So, he also has an icon, but instead of bringing it on there, I kind of decided that, there we go. So, there is an icon of him, but I'd have to use one of the ones that's kind of like from Etsy, which has the questionable, which has like the, thingy around the outside. Or 2, I'd have to use one that has a watermark on it, which I chose neither, so, yeah. Anyway, the next saint of the day is, the next entry for today covers Saints Winneman, Unaman, and Sunaman, monks and martyrs, so they were monk martyrs. Monks and nephews of Saint Sigfrid, whom they followed to Sweden as missionaries, martyred by pagans, c. 1040 AD. Okay, that's interesting. We've got a bonus entry. Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so we have... so the next entry is actually for Saint Oswy, King of Northumbria. 670 AD. In 655, he achieved a decisive victory over the pagan King Penda at the Battle of Wherefore. But I'm pretty sure... Wait. Wasn't Saint Oswy... or hasn't Saint Oswy already been covered? Anyway, Saint Oswy is most renowned for presiding over the Synod of Whitby in 664, where he chose to align Northumbrian Christianity with the Roman tradition of the Celtic one. A pivotal moment in the history of the English Church. He supported the foundation of monasteries, including Whitby Abbey, and promoted the spread of orthodoxy across Northumbria. Okay, maybe I have... Well, there's only one way to find out. Voices of British Orthodoxy. I'm going to look myself up, and then I'm going to just look up Saint Oswy. I mean, that doesn't help. Oh, thank you for 10 views on this, though. Because, like, I'm 90% certain that Saint Oswy has been... Okay, you know what? Let's, That's not what I wanted. I mean, that's definitely not what I wanted. Lol, what? Okay, wait. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Voices of British Orthodoxy. I am, of course, Rita Lazar. I hope you've all had a very wonderful day today. Today we've... Wait, I have the thingy book down here. Forgive me, I'm going to check this because I'm pretty sure this saint has already been commemorated. November 24th. We've got Coleman of Cloyne, who I imagine is the main saint for that day. Einfleder Kennen. Interesting. Never mind. That's odd. Uh... Feast. I'm not going crazy, am I? Never mind. Okay, we'll pretend it's a unique entry, but I'm very confused. Anyway, the only other thing worth mentioning is that he does have a Troparia, so let's scroll down to the bottom. So the Troparia is sung in tone 4 and the Kontakion is sung in tone 3. The Troparia goes as follows: accepting Christ as Christ our King. Wait, forgive me. Accepting Christ our God as King, O righteous Oswi, thou didst labour to establish the church in thy realm, founding dwellings of prayers and offering thy treasure in thanksgiving, seeking unity for the faithful and honouring the saints, intercede with Christ our God that our souls may be saved. He has a Kontakion sung in tone 3, which is instructed from thy youth in the fear of God. Thou didst reign with care for the worship of Christ, O righteous King. By thy vow thou didst raise up monasteries as a sacrifice of praise, and by thy judgment thou didst seek concord in the church. Therefore intercede with Christ our God for those who honour thy holy memory. I'm going to try once more. Copy. Let's... Never mind. Okay, any other thing that... Whatever, I guess the other date is probably wrong if he does come up. I'll count him as an entry, though, and I'll leave his Troparion in the description for you all to read. And then I guess that means the final entry is Saint Tanko of Werden, who is a bishop and martyr, also known as Tancho, Tatar, and Tato. And this saint does count for this channel because they are Irish, because he is Irish. Feel free to pause and read. Right, may those saints intercede, may the saints intercede for us before the righteous judge. I've been Reader Lazar. God bless you all, and Amen.